Hello? Okay. Just a second to move this over here. Blow it up. There we go. Mm. Oh, that's right, the punch cards. Buddy Sage said there was an Easter egg that we missed. So let me pull up what he said. On the outside near the top. Excuse me. I don't really know what he was talking about, so I guess we'll come back for that later. How's everybody doing?
Altered item number 52AE analysis, session 2. I will begin by introducing various stimuli to the item. First, a low voltage electric shock.
So, we need to find all the punch cards.
Let's take a look at. Let me put that up.
Each punch card should correspond to a terminal.
I got it, lady.
These whiteboard drawings may be important. It looks like he was working on something to do with these symbols.
Got it.
The prism shattered. Darling's prototypes have a lot of issues. We need a new plan. We need more Blackrock prisms to make this machine work. Darling has another lab, down in the Blackrock processing site in maintenance. That must be where he keeps the prisms.
I've been to maintenance already. I can find my way.
But how long will that take? Nothing here is simple. I need to ask her now, before I go.
I need something from you first. What do you know about Dylan Faden?
I knew this was coming. Lives are at stake here, and we need this machine working to save those lives. Once that is done, Director Faden, then we can talk.
She's right. As much as I don't want to admit it, I'm the only one who can help.
Fine. I'll get the prisms first.
Dylan will have to wait just a little longer.
But don't call me Director. Jesse is fine.
I'll call you Faden. Here, you'll need this keycard.
Thanks. Emily Pope has set up a base in Executive. Once I have the prism, I'll meet you there.
Right. I'll move out immediately. And keep an eye out for Darling. Finding him might be the key to stopping the hiss.
It's just one large-scale HRA. It's there now. We are about to be exposed to a different kind of resonance. Hostile, viral, invasive resonance. That's what the Hedron resonance amplifiers are for. Taking the protection Hedron can provide us, and keeping us from being wiped out.
Here, this will lead back to Central Research.
Let me see what kind of side missions there are here. Where is the break room? I apologize about the dog.
Marshall knows something about Dylan. Is he here? Is he all right? HRA. First. They'll help save everyone, including Dylan, once I find him. Can you keep him safe? Like you do with me? Did Ati mean barrels full of hazardous biological material? Seems like I'm breaking some environmental regulations on waste disposal, but if that's what Ati wants, then I'll get it done.
Excuse me. Hey, buddy. Where'd the barrel go?
My name is Dr. Pierce, lead researcher at the Department of
That's all of them.
Let me see. Let's leave this for right now. There was a sign that said something about Black Rock near the power plant. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's right. We couldn't get past here. Just checking. Ed.
Keeping my eyes open. We ain't out of the woods yet.
Nope. Okay.
Ugh, this place makes me nauseous. An object of power. How do you think it got down here? A carousel horse. Why is kid stuff always so creepy?
Horse. Ooh, I like it.
Let's see the Hess keep up with me now.
Oh. Oh, okay. Found what I was looking for anyway.
Stepping to the FBC, there's lots to do, there's lots to read, but don't touch and don't scream much. Let's join the Thresher Kids. Let's join the Thresher Kids.
What?
Hey, man! What are you drawing? I'm drawing a dog!
I'm drawing the pyramid.
The what?
The pyramid.
What's a pyramid?
The Black Pyramid. It's in the astral plane.
Airplane?
Astral plane. It's big, white, and empty. Or is it? It's a weird, crazy alien dimension. The white goes on forever. You can get lost in all that white and never find your way back home.
I miss my home.
Okay. Even given this game, that is still like the last thing I expected to be on the TV.
Harry's fellow is not a useless guy. Respects his elders. Makes good coffee.
Okay. What does this say?
It's back. What kill a bad thing? Paska mikä paska. The Bureau is trying to dig a hole in their own cellar. Looking for coal. Greedy lads. Where did I leave
We're making like significantly more progress than we did yesterday. What a difference some rest makes.
Hello again, Mr. Clog. You've really let yourself go.
Oh, there. Okay.
We should go down there to clear out the rest of it.
Goodbye, Mr. Clog. I sincerely hope we never meet again.
Hell yeah. Girl, calm down. This looks like it might be it. Uh, Hey, Blackstone. Uh, sorry I didn't see you for a second. Let me test something. Make sure it's still working. Okay. Sorry, I was distracted being lost. But I hope you're having a good one so far. We're making much more progress than we did yesterday. Well, right now, what is the goal? We need to find a magic rock for something. I don't remember what, and the security lady promised to tell us about our brother after we get it for her. For some reason, I completely forgot to mention that at the convention yesterday there was also Wallace Shawn, so there were two Ferengi like in a corner. The lady with the big machine gun. And now we go to the motel.
I don't know. The lights are on. They should be open. We're looking to get a room for the night. Hello? I don't think anyone's there, honey. Come on. Let's go to that motel we passed a while back.
But this is... I'm not sure what they use this place for, the Bureau, but this is basically a representation of every, like, motel or, like, place that you pass through in America. I forget. I guess they just go in here to chill out sometimes or, like, be safe. Director Max Payne was talking about it. got a new dash ability from a haunted merry-go-round. Good stuff. Oh, I see. I misunderstood. It was just the horse on the merry-go-round. It was just in the like under the break room. Okay, now I get it. We were supposed to look at this room before pulling the cord. Then over there. Are we just randomly hoping that the door will be open over here? Oh, I'm stupid. Never mind. I have no idea what the puzzle is right now. Bear with me, please. These games have been very fun. It seems like now we're finally getting into the point where these games like connect into some sort of cohesive whole, but Yes. He... Yeah, I don't know the details of how it all works. I'll ask Sage about it next time. One second again. Let me see. I thought about waiting in line for Wallace Shawn, but I didn't. I only had enough money for like two people or one person and like a couple pieces of merch, so I decided after Vincent D'Onofrio didn't show up or canceled, I decided to just get some posters instead. Oh, there we go. I just had the plants in the wrong place. There were some comic artists that were like not in the celebrity like lineup area. I didn't recognize any of them. Uh, and now we go in the Black Pyramid door. There we go. Again, I don't typically go to conventions because I don't have a lot of money to burn. Peter Weller, I might have been willing to like get something signed by, as well, if he hadn't canceled.
Okay, we need to find a way to Blackrock processing. That's where Marshall said we'd find a prism.
Atlas theory. A lot of these files seem to be just flavor. There's like a couple files where there's some employees have a book club and they're complaining about some fucking stupid book they had to read. But I admire that the Remedy, this company, has maintained like their creative spirit and been rewarded for doing so. Let me fuck up the men's restroom while we're here. There are no urinals in the men's room. Thank God. But I think I talked about this before, how there was this convention that I wanted to go to where Kevin Conroy was scheduled to show up, but then like a month before it happened, he passed away. Because he had been sick for a while, but didn't want anybody to know. But anyway, I missed my chance to tell him how much he meant to me, and so I've decided to like seize the day more when I can. Speak with Arish. I don't know who that is. The people I know who...
See, you're still you.
Huh?
I'm not doing so hot.
You're fine. We'll push through this.
The hiss are the ones doing the pushing, Doc.
The people I know who did meet Kevin Conroy and like had an interaction with him, he did seem Kevin Conroy did seem to be aware how meaningful his role was to a lot of people.
The truth is harsh, but
So at least there was that.
people seem familiar with death.
The hiss are everywhere. Most of the Bureau is lost. We need Blackrock Prism to make more HRAs for any survivors in the safe rooms. I'm here to check Darling's Blackrock lab.
So to recap, death, disaster, and imminent destruction. Another day at the FBC. But Darling's lab is just past Blackrock processing. But I got good news and I got bad news on that front. Good news is, it's right down the hall. Bad news is, a hiss monster has decided to move in, so that's great.
Monster.
That's what the Rangers said. The ones that survived, anyway. But we are just treading water here, and the hiss keep coming. Salvador would know what to do, but apparently he took a security team into the containment sector just before the lockdown happened, and, well, no one's seen him since. But hey, at least we got you, our fearless leader.
They shouldn't rely on me. They don't know me. They don't know how I've failed people.
You've done a good job here, Arish, but you should take your people and get to the base and executive. You can regroup there. I'll go deal with this monster. I'm getting kind of used to them.
Aye, aye, Faden. And be sure to put a bullet in that thing for me.
All right. I remember the people that make like Elden Ring and Dark Souls from Soft back in like 2001 when the PS2 was coming out and 3D graphics were like that was like the second generation that like was built on like 3D graphics. The founder of FromSoft kind of had a really prescient point where a lot of people were using the power of the new platforms to like increase graphical fidelity and variety, where like instead of one model for a treasure chest, you could have like 5 or 6 different models for like a variety of treasure chests. But then when you introduce that, the player becomes less able to identify what a treasure chest is on site, and like that's kind of a problem that that has come true in gaming, and there has not been a good solution to it, of like in terms of which of these like crazily modeled things is actually important or not.
Arish wasn't kidding about that monster.
My ability to get lost while following a map is incredible. Aw, I want the swan boat. Ejected numerous riders over the course of a summer.
You showed me the HRA when I first got here, and the machine that makes them. Can you help me find a prism?
We'll need to take a little person man's room break in a second.
Shit! They're shattered. What the fuck?
That's why I was struggling before, is because the game expected me to have the dash by now.
During an AWE investigation, our agents discovered a light switch cord in a Butte bungalow closet. They pulled the cord and were instantly...
Let me turn that up a little before I go use the bathroom. Unfortunately, I have been barely reading any comics lately. I read a couple of comics they released to tie into the MonsterVerse because there were only like 2 or 3, but that's been on the back burner while I fixate on this and Godzilla. Be right back. The thing with Godzilla is that, and that's affecting the MonsterVerse, and is the reason the MonsterVerse is the way it is that Toho, the company that created and owns Godzilla, you don't get a blanket license for Godzilla. And what I mean by that is that you have to pay a licensing fee for each monster. And I believe it's like per project or something like that. And that's why it's mostly original monsters, except for the 2019 one where they had Mothra, Rodan, and King Ghidorah. And I guess Mega Godzilla too. In Godzilla vs. Kong. My research, and by research I mean Googling down to the third page of of the results, is that Kong is kind of public domain. You have to pay Universal, I think, but they can't. If you pay them, they don't have any further ability to They don't have any further obligate. You just have to pay them. They don't get a say in what you do with it, I think, because the novelization of King Kong fell into the public domain in the 60s, I believe. And the movie is going to be in the public domain in 2029, I think. And that's why there's a lot of Kong stuff. But not I thought the film reel exploded. I'll elaborate further on this when this firefight's over. This actually, we know of at least a couple instances where this situation with having to buy each monster separately affected the final product, or almost affected the final product. Let me pull up the images while I drop some facts on your ass. Because this actually affected the content of I did hear that it that the estate was like the quarrels with the Superman people almost kept the new movie from being released in certain areas. Now, this rights situation almost affected the production of the newest film, Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. Because spoilers, Mothra comes back in that film, but while they were making it, they decided to play it safe in case they ultimately were unable to secure the rights for Mothra. So they created this new monster, this little guy over here, to serve the role that to serve the same role in the story, but they were ultimately able to secure Mothra. There was apparently was a test screening that had this monster in it instead of Mothra. And I think that this situation is also probably why that role in the story was so why that part in the story feels so weird and disconnected. One second. I forgot that too. I do not remember that. I have been reading some of the IDW Godzilla comics, which are pretty good from the ones I've read. But this rights situation also affected uh, Godzilla King of the Monsters 2019. Give me a second. Let me find a good screenshot. I don't know who that is. What I'm referring to is that I'll look that up in a second. But what I'm referring to is that the climax or the ending scene where Godzilla becomes the new alpha sigma male and the monsters bow down to him. There were originally going to be a couple cameos from Toho monsters in there, specifically Anguirus, our good friend, and Gigan, but they realized that the suits were not. There was no way to convince the suits to drop money to show these monsters for like 20 seconds. Well, they have it. There they weren't in the MonsterVerse obviously, but there are updated versions of them. I can pull them up in a second after they updated for Final Wars, which was the like 50th anniversary movie. Uh, which is one of the stupidest movies I've ever seen in my life, but I love it dearly. I would not change it for the world. It's the most 2004 thing you've ever seen in your life. The Anguirus picture I showed is from 2004, but they updated Gigan and gave him chainsaw hands. The Don Fry movie, yes. I did not know who that was, so I described him as dollar store Tom Selleck with a samurai sword. And I said that with nothing but love in my heart. The horny pastry puffer. That's what that user was called. Anyway. That's the one where they were ripping off the Matrix and had these like crazy mutants do bullet time. Anyway. Let me see what's going on with the person you mentioned. Oh, you meant the issues written by this man, Dwayne. I'm not going to try to say that. I haven't read these yet. IDW has printed a lot of Godzilla comics. Okay. The one I've read so far is called Godzilla Gangsters and Goliaths, where this cop tried to take down this big time crime boss, and gets they leave him for dead on Monster Island, and basically he decides to take the fight to the crime boss by kidnapping the Mothra twins, so that Mothra has to go and destroy this crime boss's holdings to get him back. It's really good. It's exactly what I wanted. Anyway. Gangsters and Goliaths, I think, is what it's called. It's the stereotypical like rogue cop thing, but he's using a giant moth to get by it. And I'm actually, because the Japanese ones, I decided to only watch the Godzilla ones for now. But I decided I haven't finished it yet, but I started watching Mothra. Her standalone movie. She has a few standalone movies. They're also very inconsistent on the pronouns used for Mothra, but I think nowadays they settle on she.
What's the damage?
They've each taken a few hits. We need to get
Ranger
them to the surgical
Squad
station
Charlie
ASAP,
7 returned
but
from
I
an
don't think they're
expedition
stable
near
enough
the
to move.
quarry threshold just after
They're gonna have to be.
0500 Zulu.
We are moving out, and I am not.
Mission was to map quarry grid coordinates G29.
Arish wasn't kidding about that monster.
I want to watch Toho's Frankenstein movie because it looks crazy. Where this kid eats Frankenstein's monster's heart, which was left, which was brought to Hiroshima like days before the nuke or something. And this Hiroshima survivor kid eats it and grows into a big Frankenstein or something. I don't know.
they're shattered. What the fuck?
Gotcha, bitch.
Let's hurry up and find Darling's lab.
It's insane how easy that was the second time. Oh no. The forklift's back. But while I'm here, actually, the movie I got the poster of is called Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah: All Monsters, All Out Attack. And it's not part of the 2000s movies were all basically set in their own continuity, so they can mess around with the concept. And that one is where Godzilla comes back after like 50 years, but he's basically a vengeful spirit made up of the souls of those killed by Japan in World War II. And it's generally considered like the best of the 2000s films. I don't know if I agree with that. I see why people say it. It's got good mood. There's decent monster fights, but I feel like the deeper themes that they're trying to, it doesn't actually explore those ideas very well, like the vengeful spirits. It feels very lip servicey. But the reason I'm bringing it up where is it? Is because it was originally supposed to be a showcase of a bunch of more obscure monsters, but they didn't have confidence in it. But so but they did keep one obscure monster in it. Baragon, this little guy, this little dog-looking guy, who's adorable. And he tries to take Godzilla on his own, and it doesn't go well. And the other, this will be our last tangent for a minute, I promise. And the other notable, thing about Baragon in this movie and the reason why Baragon has garnered such a big fan base among the Godzilla heads is that the actress that was in the suit doing the suit work, she would do her own roars while she was doing it. And I've watched this like over 100 times, and it doesn't get old. It's so cute. He's a little puppy. I admire her commitment to the part. No, it doesn't sound like that. They did a proper roar. I think they should have kept it, but they didn't. Because of that, when this little guy decides to fight Godzilla, who's like who's basically like 4 times his size, it's like, come on, guy, come on, leave Godzilla alone. Don't, guy, come on, no. You feel real bad. Because he jumps at Godzilla, and then Godzilla whips him with his tail and just slams him into a nearby mountain, and then atomic rays him for his trouble. The Godzilla in that movie is like among the most evil that Godzilla has been. He's like actively like maliciously picking off survivors of his rampages before he moves on.
The right conditions, when the frequencies match, other dimensions leak in. We call these areas thresholds. The quarry is one of the more stable thresholds in the maintenance sector. That's where black
I don't know.
comes from.
You heard that too, right?
Dimensional matter.
Black rock
It
comes
has
from
the
a
unique
threreshold.
property of blocking out a lot
Quarry.
of frequencies. A
So
good thing.
the prisms must be there too.
Contained.
I like to think that this actor insisted on the bow tie.
Involves many dangerous things we absolutely need to keep in check. That's what the Black Rock Line fire breaks are about. The panopticon container cells.
Sorry to interrupt, sir, but I need the code for the quarry elevator.
Oh, Emily. The codes. Black Rock 665. Neighbor of the Beast.
I could have guessed that that's what it was about. I could have guessed that that's what the code was.
Darling's key. This should get us into the quarry.
Godzilla -1 is up there. Shin Godzilla's pretty bad. Godzilla, there's this trilogy of anime movies. Godzilla, Planet of the Monsters is the name of the first one. I don't remember the other two off the top of my head, but the premise is that like after 50 years of like kaiju wars and Godzilla basically proving to be unstoppable, humans and a couple aliens that tried to help have to flee the planet. And they try to go find a new planet, and they manage to make it 20 years before desperation means that they have to come back. And the time differential means that 20,000 years have passed, and Godzilla has become the dominant creature on the planet. And basically all life on Earth has shifted to accommodate Godzilla. Now, the thing about these movies is that they're not very good. The premise behind them deserves better movies than what we got. But there are 2 novels which chronicle the 50-year period where kaiju were popping up. And there's no official translation. I read a fan translation of it because it's in Japanese. But those novels are actually really good. It's like an in-universe like archive of a bunch of interviews, interviewing survivors of to get information on, to get a first-hand perspective on the rise of the monsters and stuff. It's like World War Z the book, but it's Godzilla. It's called Godzilla Monster Apocalypse, and I read a fan translation of it. It was like that. It was like they should have made the movies about this. And the movies are. The second movie is about they find the ruins of Mechagodzilla, who they built. And did not, Mechagodzilla did not work. They weren't able to activate him in time before Godzilla destroyed it. And that movie, the second one, is probably the best of the trilogy. The third one is really crazy. But the problem is that while Godzilla movies always mainly focus on the humans, and Godzilla usually has about like 20 minutes of screen time in most of them, these anime movies are where the concept, or where that trend is like at its absolute worst, at the absolute detriment to the movie. Godzilla barely does anything. There's no, and even though the second and third movies say that they have Mecha Godzilla and King Ghidorah in them, there's no big monster fight in any of them. He mostly just stays still. What does this say? He's like... He's the largest Godzilla ever shown. He's like 300 meters tall. I don't know how much that is in freedom units. Yeah. Well, the thing is that when they get back to the planet, they see this Godzilla walking around, and they lose 80% of their forces, but they manage to kill the Godzilla. And it turns out,
like how the world should be.
Even though that Godzilla was identical to the one that they fled from, it turns out that was only that was Godzilla's son, and not the real one. And the real one wakes up, and it turns out that the mountain they thought they were next to was Godzilla.
Just the right kind of insane.
And that's like the cliffhanger the first one ends on. I believe it was originally conceived as like a series, and you can kind of tell because it ends on that kind of cliffhanger. Hi. There's another Godzilla anime on Netflix called Godzilla Singular Point, which is like very high concept, but also prominently features Jet Jaguar. Yeah, those movies were on Netflix, but the other anime that was on Netflix, I enjoyed. It's like its story revolves around like really advanced theoretical physics, and it kind of just assumes that you're keeping up with all of it, and I kind of wasn't, but I was having a good time regardless. It's like you're watching this anime that you're kind of vibing with. I don't watch a lot of anime, I'll be real, but you're kind of vibing with the show, and then you're like, oh yeah, Godzilla's here too. I decided, because -1 was only a couple years ago, I did not rewatch that one, but because I'd already seen it recently. Now you look real stupid, buddy. this is like the most quirky. I shouldn't say quirky, but this is like the most experimental and like offbeat era of like Godzilla media that we've entered into in Japan, and I can't wait for more of it. I need to go back and get rid of some of my stuff. Yeah. Those movies, those like monster apocalypse movies are unfortunately not that great. The writing lets it down a lot. It has part of its problem is that it has a lot of ideas, but it doesn't. But none of these ideas get the time that they need. And that's basically consistent across the entire trilogy. The animation's really good at parts and really bad in other parts. It's like a mix of 2D and 3D animation. The actual model for Godzilla's kind of rough. It's a weird. The plot arc is a little weird because part of the arc is the main character, who has a lot of hatred for Godzilla, has to realize has to learn to let go of that hatred. And because part of the moral is that Godzilla has just become a fact of life. It's like being mad at a hurricane. And that's true, but the backstory also was that Godzilla is clearly intelligent and actively and deliberately wiping out every human he sees. So I don't think that quite works the same.
Elevator's broken.
Just because he's currently stopped doing that. But I went to go see Shin Godzilla in theaters, to rewatch it in theaters. I guess last month now, which is what inspired me to go watch all of them. The third installment of that anime trilogy is in the running for the worst Godzilla movie. I don't think it is the worst one. I think, oh, I don't even know. Versus Space Godzilla is pretty bad. All Monsters Attack with Manila, Godzilla's son, is generally considered the worst one. Where Manila's son, because it's in the imagination of a child, Godzilla's son starts talking. And for some reason, in the English American dub, they decided to make him sound like Goofy. Godzilla says I have to fight my own battles. Even setting aside the ridiculous of Godzilla saying anything. Oh, we also need to get rid of the weapon mods. That's right. Where you at, bro? The 90s movies, which formed their own, like, that's the most consistent continuity that Godzilla's ever had, was the 90s movies. There's also, like, a little baby Godzilla, and while he's pretty realistic looking at first, in the second one, they make him, like, overly cute, like he's, and it comes across like he's mutated horribly. And of course, 98 Godzilla has all of those little raptor babies from the Roland Emmerich one. I was unable to finish. I was only able to get 25 minutes into the Roland Emmerich Godzilla. So that was why my one exception to the franchise. I failed all of you. I'm so sorry. Hey, get the words out of my face, thank you. I disagree. I think it is a bad movie, even taking Godzilla way out of it. I'm not, like, trying to invalidate your opinion, but I disagree. It is so consistently annoying. It's actually insane. I also think Independence Day is a pretty annoying movie, but they were doing more with what they had than Godzilla 98 is. Well, that's just the American story, you know. I only, I was 3 when it came out, so I only watched it as an adult, really. But there was a silver lining when I was going through the Godzilla franchise recently, is that the general consensus among the fandom is that the only reason, well, there's 2 reasons why the vitriol for Godzilla 98 has slowed down. Is that, well, first of all, just time and people chill out, but also there was something good to come out of it. The tie-in cartoon, which was served as a sequel to the movie, is actually, like, it's nothing groundbreaking, but like they find a new Godzilla and he actually acts more like Godzilla. He has like atomic breath and everything. That one's actually a decent cartoon. It's nothing crazy, but if you like Godzilla, you will probably find something to like about it. And that's just utterly mind blowing. Coming up from Roland Emmerich's tenure. They gave a lot of a shit. It's got like the monster designs really play into the fact that these are like funky, that these are weird little mutants. A lot of them are like genuinely a little gross, and I think that works in its favor. And when I was doing research on Roland Emmerich's Godzilla, I found out that, well, I think the movie's quality speaks for itself. That they kind of set themselves up for failure a little bit. Because, according to my research, they were unable they did not screen the movie for critics, which is ordinarily a big red flag, but they weren't able to screen it for critics because the effects weren't finished until like a week beforehand. And they incurred a lot of loss because normally a movie like Godzilla like they make bank on the toys, but they were so set on the marketing where you have to go to the movie to see what Godzilla looks like that the mandate was that the people selling the toys and making the toys were not allowed to sell any of the Godzilla toys until after the movie had come out. And by that point, the word was out on the movie, so there was significantly less interest in the toys by that point. Oh. I went the wrong way. I want to go back to the HQ and change my outfit because I'm tired of looking at this. Yes, it did. It certainly did. They were good. When they found out about that, they were pretty good sports. Although they were confused why you would do that, and there were 3, weren't they? There was Hank Azaria, there was the lady that plays Bart, and there was another one. There were 3 Simpsons people. One of them was like the douchey boss, the sexual harasser. I forget who Bart Simpson played, and the other one was the cameraman for the reporter lady, I believe. But let's fast travel to Central Executive so I can change my outfit. let's, as crazy as this outfit is, let's give it a whirl. I just think that they were trying to recreate the Independence Day formula, but I don't think they had as solid of a cast, and the cast wasn't bringing it. Except maybe Jean Reno, who just decided to have fun with it. I remember Dean Devlin, like, I think, like, back in 2017, he was talking about Godzilla 98, and he was, like, he kind of, like, admitted that, like, that a lot of what went wrong was their fault, and that they just made a movie that they wanted to make and didn't really care about the property that much. It was like that. Even though it's obviously hindsight, I feel like a lot of people wouldn't admit that. At least whatever this outfit is supposed to be is very flattering on her. While Godzilla 98 was in development, Dean Devlin also made an ass of himself. Because the design for Godzilla, which I actually don't think is horrible, but the design for Godzilla actually leaked like a year before release. And the fans were upset. He came in and said that was just concept art. That's not the final version, and that was a lie. It was the final version. Ah, I see.
Not what I expected.
This is the first Remedy game where the platforming is not the worst part about it. The cartoon, there were a couple of really unfortunate lines that I think I shared with Sage, but one of the main characters is Puerto Rican, and this cultural and racial identity is primarily expressed by having him call people Jefe. So, like, they basically forget about it 98% of the time. But it's unfortunate because there's a part where the nerdy white guy who like they have like a frenemies thing going on. he refers to the Puerto Rican guy as vermin at one point, and there's no way that was the intent behind that line. But it's like, Jesus Christ. It was just supposed to be normal shit talking, but they didn't think about the implication. I feel like there was another weird part, but I don't remember. Now, I have played some of the original BioShock on here, but meeting Armin Shimmerman has inspired me to play it again on here. I'm about to use the restroom, so I'm going to put something on here. Where he plays the main villain. Give me 1 second.
I am Andrew Ryan, and I'm here to ask you a question. Is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow? No, says the man in Washington, it belongs to the poor. No, says the man in the Vatican, it belongs to God. No, says the man in Moscow, it belongs to everyone. I rejected those answers. Instead, I chose something different. I chose the impossible. I chose rapture. A city where the artist would not fear the censor, where the scientist would not be bound by petty morality, where the great would not be constrained by the small. And with the sweat of your brow, rapture can become your city as well.
But yeah, that's a classic. I've just never beaten it. And that's a lot of range, because that doesn't sound like Armin Shimmerman to me, but it totally is. He pops up in voices more than you realize. was also Fallout New Vegas, where the main villain, I guess you could call him, was Rene Auberjonois. I finally learned how to say his name. I previously just called him Odo. Because I didn't want to look stupid. That is completely the wrong way. I remember at the convention there were five people dressed as the cartoon Teen Titans, but the cyborg was the only guy, as far as I could tell. I don't want to assume gender, but it looked like the other four were all girls, and I don't know why that was funny to me, but it just was.
And there it is, right where you led me. The HRAs, the prisms, they mean something to you. I need to get this prism to Marshall before it's too late. HRAs,
There was
then Dylan.
There was a lesbian couple dressed as Tim Drake, Robin, and Connor Kent, Superboy. Oh dear. Let's get back to Central Executive and change this outfit because I'm not digging it. Someone pointed out to me that well, also that. But Connor Kent has also spent his entire publication history dressing like a lesbian. I don't think it's that crazy.
Who does she think she is, authorizing that kind of data breach?
She must think he's hiding something. And I agree. The HRAs alone are proof, darling.
Had to take a detour into the quarry, but I found plenty. Here.
We will start HRA production immediately. I promised I'd tell you about Dylan once you helped us.
This is it. She knows. 17 years I've waited.
Your brother is here. He was once known as Prime Candidate 6, codename P6. We brought him here after the Ordinary event. He was groomed to be the future director. He had talents far beyond any other candidate in the program.
Of course he did. We found you together. We share a bond. Are you with him now?
So you kidnapped him?
We took him in. Your parents vanished along with every other adult in Ordinary. Eventually, his power changed him. There were casualties. He wasn't fit to be the director.
Did you know about this? Is this why you didn't bring me here sooner? Were you keeping me away?
Where is Dylan?
He's kept in the containment sector, in the Panopticon.
My brother. I thought we were the same. What if we are?
I'm going. Now.
I expected as much. I need to go check on something. Something I cannot let the Hiss find. It shouldn't take long, but you must watch the Bureau while I'm gone. And remember, Dylan is dangerous.
Let's see if we can at least get Dylan.
Do not let him out, Director Faden.
How do I make her stop calling me that? I'm not here for them. Nothing simple here.
Let's see if we can at least
These
meet
people
Dylan before
took
we
my
call
brother,
him for the
but
night.
They've accepted me without question. Are they my enemies or my friends? I need to see Dylan. I need to know. I wish you could tell me what you know, explain things. Just stay with me, okay? I could use a friend right now.
All sectors.
All right.
Executive is in the process of being fortified as per your orders. Maintenance is relatively stable. A security employee named Arish has apparently prevented multiple key locations from being taken by the Hiss. Research is overrun with a small team currently holding the HRA lab. Containment is, well, it's gone dark. No one's heard anything from them since the attack. Let's hope no news is ridiculous.
No Hiss followed you in, right?
This is Lynn Salvador, head of Bureau Security. I'm making a formal security order due to the incident in April, case number 21HQ593. Improper use of the jukebox altered item led to 2 fatalities. We believe a pair of agents used the jukebox to travel to the quarry threshold and engage in inappropriate workplace behavior. An expedition team found them decomposing at the formation's base a week later.
Oh dear.
At least we found out the jukebox doesn't bring corpses back when the song ends. I'm having the jukebox placed in a secure location in the executive sector. It should never have been accessible to low clearance staff in the first place. The new location security and proximity to a high traffic area will prevent misuse while still allowing for expedition teams to access it when required. See me for any further details.
We've seen the jukebox, but we couldn't do anything with it. This radio is playing copyrighted music, but I have it, the game has a setting to mute it, so it's not playing anything. Well, people do stuff like that a lot with the knocking it off. This game is 2019, so it wasn't new, but it wasn't that old either. Okay, there's nothing. The jukebox apparently teleports people. There's nothing we can do with it. We'll take office equipment outside of the building.
sector, the Panopticon, is home to the altered items we find and contain. It is a maximum security prison. It's a vault for the most valuable treasures on Earth. It's a powder keg big enough to blow this world to dust. A temple, a place of worship filled with idols of angry gods. It's all of these, and none of them. It's something more profound, unbelievable, unknowable, something worse. Altered items. We've found many. They appear mundane, but nothing could be further from the truth. They're all powerful, dangerous. They press heavy on our minds because that's their nature. They've been altered because we can't stop thinking about them. We put them on altars because they're used to being worshipped. This keeps them calm. We contain them, but they don't want to be controlled. We study them to discover what makes them tick. If this place were ever breached, it would be chaos of biblical proportions.
All right. No, that's the wrong one. So in the original Max Payne, the last act where you're at the secret fucking drug lab or whatever, there's this key lock, this key code that you have to unlock, and it turns out the code was 665, and Max Payne says the neighbor of the beast, and at that point I was like, Max, shut up. Shut up. But that became a recurring number.
Panopticon. Altered items. Maximum security prison. Dangerous.
Oh dear.
Reminder. This week, any documents that suddenly appear pink, light red, or any shade in between must be incinerated immediately. Failure to do so will result in termination and possible bodily harm. Thank you for your attention.
Nope. I need to get more used to it. actually do want to turn aim assist on. Come here. Nope. I want to at least take over this room before we call it. Okay. I don't think that these really serve any gameplay purpose, these shelters. They're just like lore. I need to upgrade my abilities real quick. Okay. This is the biggest place in here.
Anyone's there? I could really use a hand.
Hello?
I'm
Oh.
here. What happened to you?
I got in a little scrap. Name's Horowitz.
Is he gonna be okay?
Don't look at me like that. I'm fine. But Wells is still in there. You gotta get him out.
Who's Wells?
My squad mate. We were hunting a runaway altered item. We followed it down into the clocks.
The clocks.
A threshold. The Bureau sealed it up years back because of all the clocks. We followed the altered item inside, but the way it was acting, we weren't ready. Me and Wells were the only ones to make it to the motel court. He was right behind me, but he never showed up on this side.
I'll go find him. But first, you need to get to a medic.
Wells is the medic. Please, you gotta get him out of there. I'll be fine, really. Roop can patch me up later.
Fine. But I'll be back for you.
I damn well hope so. Just use the motel cord there. It should get you into the clocks. Sorry, the threshold.
Okay, back to the motel. One second. All right. There we go. I was overthinking it. Is that? There we go.
This Wells guy can't be far. Those must be the clocks he was talking about.
Medic, where you at?
Shit.
Are you Wells? Your friend asked me to come looking for you.
That must be Horowitz. Glad he got out. I stayed back to help the others do a shit job of it, clearly.
You tried. That's enough. Horowitz needs your help now. How do we get out of here?
We should head back through the threshold. We can look for other survivors as we go.
We better hurry. Which way?
Just follow the blood. Let's go.
It's a good rule for life in general. His clearance is fucking insane.
What's with the clocks?
Threshold effect. This used to be a regular office wing before the threshold manifested. The forces at play in there got a hold of someone's old clock and started duplicating it. Now the office is abandoned and its clock's all the way down.
Come here.
Think you can find a way around?
Let me see.
Yet still, I somehow don't know what time it is.
So, you came down here for an altered item?
The anchor, yeah. Langston said it'd be a simple item retrieval. But the power that thing had, I've never seen anything like it. That's O'Neill. Shit. No one else got out.
We knew that already. Okay. Come on. Oh, nice job. Where we go, brother? Oh, there we go.
When it was clear we couldn't contain the altered item, Horowitz ordered a retreat. We got out, but Hiss were waiting for us. I took Horowitz to the motel court and went back for the others.
That was brave of you.
I'm the medic. That's my job. We're not far now.
Well, if that's the right way, let's go over here. Don't come in this restroom. Oh, never mind. I prefer the spin. Alright, I didn't see you.
Come on. The motel court is on the other side of logistics. Horowitz should still be there.
Who is over here? Or... Okay.
Let's go. Hold on. Something's wrong with him.
Shit.
Oh, I should have thought about that.
Oh, God, no.
I should talk to Wells. Make sure he's okay.
He's got an anchor on, right?
I'm sorry about your friend.
Thanks. And thanks for coming to get me. Horowitz's HRA must have been damaged in the threshold. Guy never put himself first. At least the anchor-altered item is still locked away down in the clocks. I hope it rots down there.
That altered item needs to be dealt with before it hurts anyone else. I should go back down and contain it.
Head to the executive sector, Wells. They could use a medic.
Thank you, Director. I'll go see what good I can do there.
All right. Let's investigate the anchor at least. We don't need to go that way, that's right. After that, we'll probably call it for tonight. What does it mean by safe room? Okay, clearly that was the wrong way. Ma'am? Ma'am, are you okay?
This is the safe room Will showed me. The one with the altered item inside. Great. More clocks.
Who would have guessed?
This is the safe room Well showed me. The one. Great. More clocks.
Why is that not the right way? I should probably look around first.
This is the safe room Well showed me. The one with the altered item inside. Great. More clocks.
That's clearly the right way, though. I don't know. I have a feeling that if I asked Sage, he would know how many clocks are in this fucking part. This is not what I need in my life right now.
This is the safe room Well showed me.
Let's take
The one with the altered item inside.
a more measured approach here.
Great. More clocks.
We just hit the 3-hour mark, which is usually what I try to hit. But I think for now we'll call it. Let me exit out of this game so I don't forget. But yeah. I don't think that anyone I know is streaming. So yeah, everybody take easy and stay safe. Have a good one, Blackstone.